Good afternoon. This is another entry into my faith vlog. Just real fast, wanted to update you guys. Still no job, still no place to stay yet lined up for me, and I'm about little under 2 weeks out from my move. But I know God's gonna provide. I know He's gonna take care of me. I'm becoming more and more confident in that as the date approaches. The more I talk to other people about it, it's funny. I had a conversation with who I call my other mom last night, and I had delayed in telling her, but I did finally tell her. Oh, I didn't tell you guys that. I finally told her, finally told all my friends, and she, being the concerned and very practical mother that she is, asked a million questions, which I was trying to avoid. And she put her 2 cents in about, are you sure God told you to do that? Are you sure? And I was just like, yes. And she obviously understands, and she was just like, oh, well, you have to do what he said, but are you sure he didn't say Texas or somewhere closer? And it is just funny. So got that out of the way. But really the point of this post is to update you guys on something I was really excited about on my last post, which was giving. And it was funny because the amount I was giving last time, like I said, it wasn't like just mind blowing, but it was something. It was meaningful. But when you ask God for a blessing, a lot of times He give you a blueprint, and He's not just gonna say, "Hey, here's your blessing," or "Here's you want to be patient," or you're asking God for patience, and He's just gonna say, "Okay, here's patience." He's gonna present you with a scenario that tests your patience. He's gonna present you with something that goes, "Oh, man, I really want to do this," or "I really want to snap on them," or they're really trying my patience, and I don't know why. Well, that's why, because you were praying just last week and asking God to give you more patience. So now here's a scenario that it's gonna rub up against your patience to test it, and to have you go to God and be like, all right, well, God, help me with this, help me with my patience. So anyway, I asked God to help me with my giving and my stance on giving, and because I know that you know that's one of the keys to the kingdom is giving, and I don't want to be short in that. So I did my thing the other day. I was super excited, as I posted here, and then today God asked me to give a different amount. I had this money earmarked and set aside for something else, and I was holding it, and I was excited about putting it in my savings, and then boom, God dropped this on me yesterday. I had a really close friend whose parent had passed away, and it was just unexpected. And you know, she sent me a link for a GoFundMe, and I was like, well, okay, no problem. I'll give what I can to this GoFundMe, and I'm assuming my part is not gonna, make a huge difference, but also just to help out. It wasn't a big deal. But then God had told me to give the amount or give the money I had earmarked to go into my savings to this cause. And I was like, man, you know, it kind of hit me because I was so excited the other day, and then this happened, and I was thinking about it, and I was going back and forth, and just it just the human side of it. I was like, man, was this really God telling me this? And then I quickly remembered something I had heard in church where pastor was like, if you're wrestling with giving, or if God told you something, just know that the devil's never going to tell you to give. He's never going to tell you to give, because he knows he knows the principles as well as we do. So, I basically quickly made the decision to obey and give. And after initial hesitation, which I'm not proud of, but hey, I'm not perfect, none of us are, but I did hesitate initially. But then I just decided to obey God and just be like, hey, you told me to give this, so I'm going to give it. And gave it anonymously. Obviously it's not anonymous for you guys, but when I gave it into the GoFundMe, I didn't want my name or anything attached to it. And hopefully God gets glory out of this. Hopefully this helps out in any way. And the thing you have to know, a lot of times when God's instructing you to do something, especially giving, you don't know what else He has working in the background. And so, I want to be used by God to promote His kingdom, to benefit anything having to do with with this kingdom. So these are kind of the stances you have to take. You have to quickly make decisions to obey God and just keep it moving, because whatever you give to the kingdom or whatever God instructs you to give, you just have to know that God has a purpose for it, but also he's going to take care of you. Well, that's not why you give, but that's a lot of times for the human side of it. You have to know that he's not going to have you give something that is just going to harm you or hurt you or cause you not to be able to have your needs met. He's going to meet your needs. So just wanted to update you guys on a very human moment that I have had this morning with my giving. And it's not going to be all excitement and happiness and, oh, I gave this money. It's also going to be, hey, I need you to give this amount that you weren't expecting and that you were planning on doing something else with. I need you to give that too. And so, again, quickly make the decision to obey, and then don't look back. Just be confident anytime you obey God, just be confident in your decision. So just wanted to drop that on you guys. Hope everyone's having a wonderful day. Praying God blesses you and keeps you, you and your family. In Jesus' name, amen.